It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong Criterion review and thinking how many weak movies you slept through. Time's up. Sorry I kept you. Yeah, it's been a while, I know. Anyway, welcome to the return, quote unquote return. I haven't really gone anywhere. Of the Criterion collection reviewer guy Nate Jackson doing his thing again. For you and you alone and myself sometimes, but mostly you. And yes, I'm Nate Jackson, the Criterion guy person, reviewer person. And yeah, I gotta say it has been a while. I think it's almost been a month since I did Walkabout. Just lot's been happening. I've been catching up on Doctor Who, and that took up the week pretty much right after I did Criterion Walkabout. And basically I got all the first like 6 series of the new show from the library, but I had to finish them all in a week because they were all like 7 days and I couldn't renew them. So I had to marathon through that, and then that took a whole week off, and I had the 7th Seal sitting on the desk, and then I found out that the copy I got from my library was scratched up beyond belief. I couldn't even get to the title menu, and then I did get to the title menu once. And after that, and then when I tried to play the movies, it didn't work. So I had to wait, and I got a Link Plus item, so I just watched it. So here it is, number 11 at last. This not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but number 7. The 7th Seal. Number 11 is the 7. 7-11. 7th Seal. You can't even see that glare. There, 7th Seal. Look at Max von, whatever his name is. Look at that face. You don't get that kind of face on the original thing, which I don't have, but, I almost had a hold on it, but I canceled it because I got this and it played, so I thought, hey, right on. So, 7th Seal, 1957. Ingmar Bergman. What a movie. What a weird movie. What a weird director. Well, maybe he's not a weird director, but he's unique. He is unique beyond belief. And from that uniqueness comes, quote, unquote, genius. Genius. So basically, the 7th Seal it's a short one. It's surprisingly short for all the 2 hours and 3 hours and 4 hours and 5 hours and, all the other movies that ages and ages long. But basically, it's about a knight who plays chess with death, and let's see, yeah, there's the knight, and there's the Crusades, and then there's the knight, and then he goes play the chess, and then he goes with the guy who sings about Satan, and then there's the juggler guy, or the Joker guy with the wife, and the guy who looks like Ian Anderson and plays like Ian Anderson, and they play the rock music that sounds like Nirvana but isn't, and they go meow meow meow. And then the guy sleeps with the girl's, the Smith's wife, and, oh boy, what else? What else happened? Oh, and then the guy dances on the table with the bear, and he has to act like a bear, and then, then the other guy comes in and sees it's a tavern for men dancing on tables, and he leaves, or he gets curious or something like that. No, yeah, and then he saves the woman who doesn't talk throughout the entire film, he saves her, and so in order to repay him, she has to be his servant. That's what happens. Yeah, I'm kind of slowly forgetting what happened because I had to sit through over almost 2.5 hours of bonus material. So, but we'll get to the supplements in a little bit. Yeah, so they go, and then he keeps playing death at certain points, and then I think the performer guy who plays the Joker, we'll call him Joker. I forget his name. I think his name's Ball, or it's like 3 letters, something O-L, Mal, Jaw. That's it. We'll call him Jaw. I think it's pronounced Joel, but Jaw sounds American enough. I'm an American. We pronounce things like Americans. And I'm not a film enthusiast, so, we're not gonna say Joel, this is not gonna talk like I actually really get into this movies and I understand it from the first watch. You know what I mean? So anyway, there is the chess and the death, and they keep talking, and at the end of the movie, something happens, and they do the dance macabre, and it just ends. Just like Ingmar Bergman, just unexpected. And yeah, and then this is, they all see death at the end, and it's some crazy shit, and yeah, I didn't get the ending. I know there's probably a billion other things I could have mentioned. Oh yeah, it's in, I guess, whatever language it is in. What language is this movie in? Let's find out, because I couldn't tell. It's not French or Swedish. No, it is Swedish! Oh, okay, good. I thought I recognized the sound of the language, but anyway, it's Swedish, yes. Ingmar Bergman, Swedish. Good for him. Alright, so, anyway. Basically, this movie, I mean, for its short length, it's one of those movies that, for its short length, it has to pack a lot in. Scenes are quite short. Scenes have either very little dialogue or a good portion of dialogue. A lot of it, I feel like, after watching the supplements, which we'll get to, I feel like there's a lot of like silence in his films, and I feel like this one was pretty, good portion of dialogue. So I would think that this is probably one of the most talkative of his films. So, of course I haven't seen anything else, but I'm sure I will, because there's a couple more Bergman films in the collection, like Autumn Sonata, and I think Fanny and Alexander, I think is on there. And I'm pretty sure Sarabande is. I don't remember. Anyway, so what else can we say about this film? Constructive. And I say constructive just because I'm trying to think of something intelligent to say about this film. But honestly, because it was just so confusing at times, it's hard to. And, obviously this is a film that I probably got to watch about 400 or 500 more times before I understand. And a Wikipedia synopsis is not going to help. Trust me, I tried. But there's just basically, it's directed very well. There are a lot of interesting scenes. I feel like one of the best scenes, it's very disturbing, and I fast forwarded through a little bit of it, but it's the scene where they're singing the song, and then the people come and they talk about the plague, and they're carrying the crosses, and people are whipping each other, and they get cut to those close-up shots of the characters, I forget his name, the character that Max von, what's his name? Oh, I forgot. This copy has the booklet, so let's just look up the character. They do these characters. Oh, Block. Antonius Block. Joff, that's his name. That's the Joker's name. Joff. Yes, Block the Knight. Antonius Block. Max von Sydow. So Block, and then they show like the squire, and then the mute woman, the squire's girl, I guess. Yeah, the squire's girl. I guess she doesn't have a name. Of course, how would he know? Because she never talks. So there you go. So yeah, there's basically, and when they show those scenes of their close-up shots, it's sped up. You can tell it's like they're sped up just a little bit. Wherever all the other scenes are in normal footage, but when they show those scenes, it's like you can tell they're moving a little faster than others, and they're not saying anything. They're just talking. They're not even talking. They're just looking like this. You can tell that they're moving a little faster, because they're trying to keep their heads still, but they can't necessarily do that. So they're just moving and everything. So yeah, that's basically that, and I think that was one of the best scenes. Definitely it's his direction style. Definitely. Everybody talks about the close-up, and probably the definitive close-up probably though of the scene is right toward the end, where the wife kneels down and says, "It is finished," and she smiles with that scary-ass, creepy-ass smile. For the longest time, I thought that was the squire's girl, and I don't think it is. I never bothered to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure the Squirrel's Girl was never meant to talk, and that just makes it all the more analytical. Oh my god, she never talks. How weird is that? You know. So basically, this was a very good movie. But I mean, the flaws being that the plot is a bit confusing. The dialogue is snap, meaning that what I mean by snap is it's like they explain the plot point once. If you don't get what's going on after they say it, you know, it's like snap meaning a plot point could be revealed in one sentence or a few words. And if you're not reading those subtitles and you don't know how to speak Swedish, then you're fucking screwed. So, you know, there's very little dialogue, I feel, that's, you know, extraneous. I mean, maybe the scenes with the baby and, you know, by the way, the butt shots of the baby were kind of weird, but you know, there you go. Guess he needed butt shots of a baby. How about that? So yeah, I feel like, you know, it was just could have been a little more, you know, a little more snappy, not snappy dialogue, but a little more dialogue just to strengthen the characters a bit. I feel like, you know, the characters are probably a little more weak. Even Block, you know, I feel like, you know, they strengthened a lot of the side characters like Boff and his wife and the squire. But Block, you know, the guy who's like got pretty much, you know, all their worlds, who ends up having their whole world in his hands thanks to this chess game. You know, it's like you don't really get a lot from him. He's very straightforward. You know, there's no real curve to his personality or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, that's basically all I can say. I would give it a grade. I would give it a B. I'd give it a B. You know, like I said, it's just kind of confusing. But at the same time, well shot. Well, you know, the cinematography is gorgeous. The idea of playing a game with death, especially chess, you know, it's just, you know, the way that he tricks him when he does his confession is, you know, it's just brilliant. It's a very, very awesome concept. At the same time, I kept yelling, "How could you not tell that's him?" You know, you could tell the voice. He doesn't disguise his voice, and you can see the thing, but he's looking down because, you know, he thinks he's some priest, and then he looks up, he's like, "You." Anyway, B. Supplements. Let's get through these supplements because we're already at 13 minutes and try not to make these longer than about 20 minutes. So, supplements. So, introduction with Bergman, and which is kind of cool, kind of nice. Always great to see the stuff from the director, which they usually try to keep something. Trust me, they talk a lot about Bergman in this one. Let's see, there's a 20-minute interview with Max von Sydow, who plays the Block, the main knight, talking about kind of his career, just a little bit of his career, and you know, a little bit of his time working on the Seventh Seal and working with Bergman. And then a 7-minute tribute from 1989 from Woody Allen, which is kind of boring. The trailer, which is also kind of doesn't grab you, you know, the way it should. That's the first disc. The second disc is pretty much the main feature. It's an hour and a half, almost hour and a half documentary called Bergman Island, which is pretty much just a long interview with Bergman about just his life in general. The films he made, you know, the impact of them, you know, stories, very intimate stories he tells. You know, there's a lot of deep stuff in that, and it's really great to see him because he's very funny, he's very informative, and he doesn't like to give everything away, but he gives enough of it away to give you, you know, a little bit of help so that you kind of want to go back if you've seen these films. And after seeing this documentary, you'll want to go back and watch those movies all the way over again, you know, just because just the way he phrases things, And the way it's like, wait a minute, I never thought about it like that. So back to the film, something like that. Yeah, at the same time, it did go on a little bit long. There were certain things that just, scenes or I don't know. I feel like he didn't have to play the scene so long, but at the same time, yeah, whatever. I feel like it kind of focused a little bit too much on his later work. Funny enough, I'd like to see just more of the black and white stuff, more of the earlier things. They did play a couple of scenes from Wild Strawberries, but that's pretty much the only thing. And I wanted to see the other films. But anyway, there's that. And then finally, there's a Bergman 101, another half-hour movie mini thing with the film critic talking about all his films, and yeah, that's about it. So that's the Seventh Seal. And that's pretty much it for this review, guys. So thank you for watching. Coming up, this is Spinal Tap, number 12. Number 12 is This is Spinal Tap. And then, which is sitting on the floor of my room right now. So we're probably going to do that one probably Tuesday. Probably Tuesday or maybe Sunday. But it'll be coming sooner than later. It will, and then probably Tuesday, and at the same day, we'll make it a double feature. We'll make it a double, not this double feature. It'll be number 12, This is Spinal Tap, and number 13, which is here, Silence of the Lambs. Neither of them are the Criterion Collection editions, but I don't think they really added too much. So we'll just talk about the films, and if I find out that I gotta go, I never checked the site. I should have checked it before I made this review, but I'll check the website, and if there are any special features, I'll try to find them online, or maybe they put them on the DVDs, and they didn't really add anything. Because keep in mind, I mean, they're out of print now, so it's hard to find the Criterion editions. So basically, and back then they didn't really add a lot of supplements the way they do with these 2-disc things or 3-disc or 4-disc things, So basically, I feel like if we just watch the movie, they'll just be reviews of the movie. And yeah, like I said, if I find supplements, I'll do a supplemental video, or if I find them before I do the review, then there you go. But more than likely, we'll be doing 2 reviews on Tuesday. And then after that, number 14, I think Samurai 1, Musayo Mushaga, I forget the name of it, but got a hold on it. It may come before Wednesday, and if it does, then we'll do it over maybe around Thanksgiving, Thursday or Friday. Maybe next week if it comes before Wednesday, because the library closes on after Wednesday for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday we're closed. So I won't be able to check the DVDs until December. So if it comes on Wednesday, we'll do it maybe next week. But otherwise, you won't see me for 2 weeks, except for next week, of course. Well, we'll be doing two reviews to make up for all these weeks that I never talked to you or gave you the time of day or anything like that. How rude of me. Oh, by the way, Barnes & Noble is doing another Criterion Collection sale, 50% off all of them until December 2nd. So, if you're a fan, like me, go buy some. I bought one. I'm going to buy another one because I just got paid today, so I'll buy, I don't know, probably one of the Charlie Chaplin ones. And on that note, that's it. We're up to 19, so let's stop here. Thank you, everyone. Sorry again for the delay, but that's what being a Doctor Who fan does to you. You obsess over this show and blah blah blah. But yes, next week, this is Spinal Tap and The Silence of the Lambs, 12 and 13. We're gonna catch up, guys. So until then, goodbye.